Hello, and welcome to Popcorn News, something to watch while you eat popcorn. Do not try to comprehend it all. Nay, just eat the popcorn. There's little known that the United States and Britain were on the verge of war in 1895. This is from Wall Street Banks and American Foreign Policy by Murray Rothbard. The major focus of aggressive expansion in the 1890s was Latin America, and the principal enemy to be dislodged was Great Britain. The most alarming crisis of this period took place in 1895-1896 when the United States was at a hair's breadth from actual war with Great Britain over a territorial dispute between Venezuela and British Guiana. Grover Cleveland had had enough of the British threat, and he moved quickly toward war. So that establishes that there had been almost a war between the United States and Britain around 1895. But not usually known is that the Brotherhood of Freemasonry helped to prevent this war. The Arcana of Freemasonry by Albert Churchward, originally published 1915. Foregoing chapter is written before the Great War commenced. That's the First World War. And it must now be obvious to all Freemasons how futile were the efforts of our Grand Master, other brothers, to cement the bond of brotherhood for peace and goodwill with the Germans. So, before the First World War, the Freemasons were trying to prevent the First World War. But then Churchward goes on. I drew attention to this in an article published in the Freemason, asking the pertinent question, had they succeeded in their object in preventing the then threatened war, as I and others had done some years ago with the Brethren of the United States of America. That was around 1895, when the question between us was, shall there be war or no war? The brothers, the Freemasons of the United States and Britain, decided that there should be no war then or ever between England and the United States of America. Another situation in which there was Freemasonry involved was with the Alien and Sedition Acts of 1798, signed into law by President John Adams. And they'll tell you when you look into this that it was a lot of things, but they don't talk about the widespread fear of the Bavarian Illuminati having begun to operate in the United States, and that this helped cause the Alien and Sedition Acts to be signed into law. New England and the Bavarian Illuminati by Vernon Stauffer, New York, 1918. From the introduction, on the morning of May 9th, 1798, in the pulpit of the New North Church in Boston, and on the afternoon of the same day, in his own pulpit at Charlestown, the occasion being that of the national fast, the Reverend Jedediah Morse made a sensational pronouncement. He first discussed with his hearers the awful events which the European Illuminati had precipitated upon an already distracted world, and then proceeded solemnly to affirm that the secret European Association had extended its operations to this side of the Atlantic and was now actively engaged among the people of the United States with a view to the overthrow of their civil and religious institutions. The Reverend Jedediah Morse's warning by no means fell upon deaf ears in 1798, the time of John Adams and the Alien and Sedition Act. The due attention, he claimed, for the alarm which he that day sounded was promptly and generally accorded. Soon ministers were preaching, newspaper editors and contributors writing, and clear-headed statesmen like Oliver Wolcott, Timothy Pickering, John Adams, second President of the United States, and even the great Washington, George Washington, inquiring and voicing their serious concern over the secret presence in America of those conspirators whose greatest single achievement, a multitude had come to believe, was the enormities of the French Revolution. So you've got John Adams, George Washington, voicing serious concerns about the presence of the Bavarian Illuminati in the United States.